Estiva, this is G of LaserBolt coming at you with another video. Today I'm going to show you guys how to solo the Nexus Strike and how, if you guys are trying to figure out how to complete it and you're having a hard time completing it as a team, what's the effective best way strategies to actually getting this completed. Now the Nexus Strike is broken down into three parts. First you have the first part where you have to kill 3 captains. You have your second part, which we'll go over once we get there, and a third part, which is almost the boss fight. So the first stage is a matter of killing the 3 captains. Now the captains, when you spawn in the first time, will either spawn straight in front of you across on the whole hallway, or the captain will spawn to the right hand side of you, to the right hand side of the room. So the 2 buildings, either the front building or the right hand side building. Now, best weapons to actually use for this strike, I would highly recommend either a scout rifle or pulse rifle, and as a secondary, sniper. And as a prime, it's heavy, definitely the Gallahorn would probably be the best, or a sword. I did, when you do it with a team, it's a lot easier to actually manage and complete this with a sword. But if you're doing this solo, highly recommend the Gallahorn, and make sure you guys have boots or armor that are, equipped with the ability to carry more heavy ammo, so you can have that one extra bullet within your Gallahorn. Like I said, main weapons, I was using the Clever Dragon, even though there's other weapons that are pretty, probably work more effective within this map. You can use the Mina Multi-Tool, which is a pretty good scout rifle. Red Death, if you're doing the solo, to counter that, if you're about to die, you could actually go ahead and kill them. The only downfall you have with that is you won't be able to have your Gallahorn equipped. There's actually pretty good scouts. You have the Hung Jury. Pretty much any scout rifle that's really good would be very effective within this map, as it's you're gonna be a lot of times you're gonna be at a long range and a long distance. First things you want to do is definitely, before taking on the first captain, what you're gonna want to do is make sure you clear out the ads. Map maneuvering is going to be very effective. I would recommend a aerial grenade. When I say aerial grenade, I mean a grenade that's able to cover a large mass of of the area. For example, for my warlock class, I was using the first one, which is the one that leaves the great ball of fire. And then if you're running any other class like the Titan, I would definitely recommend the cone. If you're running the Titan one, I would highly recommend you run Bubble Defender and run the nade with the cone as well. And you guys should be good to go. Talking about classes, as far as this, if you're trolling this, of course, self-rest if you're a warlock. If you're a hunter, definitely Shade Step or Tether would be very effective. And if you're a Titan, you're going to want to go ahead and run Defender. I don't know if I messed up and I said Titan instead of Hunter. Well, so pretty much what you're going to definitely do is kill the captain. It's going to take 3 Gallahorn shots to kill the captain. What would be more effective is if you shoot 2 and then you finish them off with either a primary or a secondary. That just makes it, save a little bit more on ammo. If you can't save up on ammo, then I'll definitely recommend just taking them out with the Gallahorn and, clearing out the ads as you go, and then just resynthing. As far as how many synths should you have for completing this Nightfall, if you're doing it solo, I would say try to bring 10 at least in case you wipe, and have that done. So once the first captain is killed, you are going to then spawn the second captain. What you're going to want to do is head back to the entry point, because you are going to get bombarded and rushed by a Minotaur. The Minotaur is actually the most annoying one out of all of them, because him and the people who go into the little bubble, oh, those are so annoying. But as far as that, just come back to the spawn point and just take them out one by one until you're left with only the captain or a few other ads. Once you're left with the captain, 2 Gallahorn shots should take him out without a problem. At the end, after you kill a second captain, you will then spawn a third captain that doesn't spawn ads until after you kill him. So what you're going to do is take him out. 2 Gallahorn shots should take him out fairly easy. After that point, you are pretty much completed with the first wave of ads, and what you're going to want to do is then approach the top part. I'm going to recommend for you to be super duper quick on this part, because you do not want to get stuck with the ads. So just run in there, avoid the Minotaur, jump to the left hand side on the top, and work your way across into the hallway, and you are on the second stage of the Nightfall. Once you get to the second part, you are then going to be presented with all sorts of different types of rooms that have different ads. You could either bypass the ads, or you could go ahead and kill the ads. I would recommend to kill the ads, just because remember, we have the strike score, and then it's going to help if you actually hit that 50 score, especially if you're trying to do this solo. If you're doing this with friends, definitely just run by them. You don't really have to kill them, but if you're trying to get that score streak, I would recommend you guys go ahead and pretty much just take out all the ads that you were able to come across. You could melee punch them. Remember, melee is active, so one melee would pretty much kills everything that you come in contact with. So just try to avoid getting any sort of damage while you're mailing, and head to the bottom. Then you're going to be presented to the room where the second phase of ads and a lot of ads show up. Now this room will have two doors. It has the door that's in the front, which will be to your left, and a door to the right. I would recommend you actually go to the right and clear out the ads there first. The reason is because there's going to be two snipers on the right hand side, and those snipers, I have found that when you go to the left hand side, usually tend to take you out because you're so busy clearing out ads that they're sniping you from across, and you don't even know what the heck is hitting you. So definitely would recommend going right, take out the two yellow bar ads that are on the right hand side. After you take those out, head over and check out the snipers. One thing I do want to recommend you is after if you see behind the snipers, there's going to be an explosive box. Shoot that explosive box, and it should give you a little bit more damage to do an output to the snipers, and take them out fairly quickly. So if you do this with a team, you guys should be fine and dandy and clear that out. This is why I kind of recommend the sniper, because it kind of helps you keep your distance either from the snipers or from any ad that's currently in the way. Remember, one thing you're going to want to be learning and doing on this, especially on this Nightfall, is strafing, which means going back and forth into cover and then shooting and popping back out, just because there's a lot of ads currently in wave. Now this stage is actually pretty interesting because it has a very different mechanics from the first Nexus that we actually had. This one, you're going to clear a bunch of taken ads that spawn in the middle. Once you clear the taken with the Minotaurs, you're going to be presented with two additional Minotaurs that spawned in the bottom corner. Once you take those out, it's going to ask you to go ahead and pick up the relic. You're going to have to go ahead, pick up the relic from the left hand side and work your way across. But before you do that, after you clear the right hand side, just instead of staying on the right hand side, head all the way back to the left hand side, clear out the ads there, and you're pretty much just going to be left with the two Minotaurs that are on the bottom. Those Minotaurs are kind of a pain because they're invisible and they keep going back and forth and strafing. So either pop the turret because you're able to actually summon the turret, or you could go ahead and, if you can't summon the turret, then just Gallahorn them to death and you should be good. Once you are done with those two Minotaurs, pick up the relic, head across, pop the relic into its relic place, and head back to the left hand side spawn where the turret spawns. And from there, you're going to see a nice spawn of sphere that spawns some ads. These are actually pretty easy. Just Gallahorn, I think it's either three or four Gallahorns should pretty much clear the whole area without a problem. After you're done with clearing those ads, all you got to do is then go stand on the middle plate, kind of like when you were doing Vault of Glass, and the door would open. Be ready, because when that door opens to the right hand side of that exit, you're going to get a bunch of taken that spawn as well. Or you could either pop a grenade right there on the floor and it'll automatically kill all of them, or just take them out with your LMG or any heavy that you might have. Now that you've made it this far, then after that, you're going to go ahead and be presented with another hallway, and this is pretty much the boss fight and the finale to the strike. Once you go from the cave side, you're going to have a bunch of taken. You can either skip these by jumping above them, or you could take them out. Highly recommend you take them out just so you can build up your super and have your super as you're going, working your way over there, that either being a bubble, a tether, or a self-res. Now I did find a very amazing spot to actually do this, which is a nice cheese spot that I'm going to be uploading a video about it. I won't be going too much into detail on how it works and what you need to do on this video. This is just how to do it solo, but I'll have the video up right after this one showing you guys the nice new cheese spot for the Nexus. You hardly ever get hit or anything like that. You just got to make sure you keep in maneuvering without dying, and there's still some ads are still able to hit you, but very little, as long as you maintain the right positioning. And once you do that, before you jump down, I highly recommend you take out the first taken kind of sniper that's in front of you, and then the one to the right, which is the yellow bar. Once you take those two out, jump down, because it'll automatically spawn. Now remember, there's not the old cheese spawns don't work, because now the old cheese spawns actually have a dead zone. So if you stay there for too long, it starts with a counter. Starts 1, 2, 3, 4. I spent a couple time here trying to figure out what would be the best place to actually tell you guys where to do this and where to do this solo. Just because I know a lot of people who do this solo have a hard time, just maneuvering and clearing out the ads, and then having to deal with the with the Nexus shooting this big, purple balls at you. But other than that, this is the best spot you can actually use on the strike. You won't be getting hit, and you can keep an eye on when the Nexus actually causes, pops his shield. You can shoot him and all that good stuff. So this actually consists of the following mechanics. First and foremost, you're gonna have to clear the ads first once you spawn in. Once the ads are clear, you're able to go ahead and start doing DPS to the Nexus. As once you hit 25% of his health, he will then go ahead and pop a shield on himself, and he will go ahead and it will spawn a relic. That relic is very reminiscent of the Vault of Glass. You're gonna have to go pick up the relic, grab the relic, and shoot the relic at him. Now, if you're running this with a team, you could use the relic and punch people with the relic. It makes it very easy to clear ads. If you're running the solo, you're not going to want to do that. You just grab the relic, come back to the spawn, the cheese spawn I showed you guys, and shoot him from there. And then once his shield's down again, start doing DPS, and then he will go ahead and knock 50% of his health. Once that 50% of his health is knocked down, he will spawn some ads. This is where you got to pay close attention to where those ads spawn. Clear out the ads first before anything, then go pick up the relic, bring his shield down, and shoot him again. This happens for 4 times, guys. He spawns 4 sets of enemies, and you have to bring his shield down 3 times. At the last part is where it gets tricky because you got to pay attention. He's not going to have a shield, but once you bring his health down to a quarter, he will spawn ads, and this is where most people tend to die because they don't even notice or nothing pops on the bottom that says that he's spawning ads. So you got to be paying close attention. Once he does that, all you got to do is shoot him, bring down his shields, take him out without a problem, and you guys should be good to go, and you have completed and soloed the Nexus Strike. Let me know in the comment section down below if you found this video helpful and informative. If you did, make sure you guys leave a comment and a like. Don't forget to check the cheese spot video on where to do this. I'm also going to be uploading a video how you're able to complete one of the most difficult, I would say most difficult or most tedious medals within the book on this strike as well. So very effective to actually get a lot of stuff done within this Nightfall. Don't forget, guys, if you want to stay up to date to all things Destiny, The Dawning, and Destiny 2, make sure you guys keep it locked on this channel, and I will catch you guys on the next video.